Hi everybody, Kat here. Welcome to my channel. Hope you're all having a great day. Well, it hasn't been the best of weeks for the royal family. There's been a few controversies. Let's get started. Well, bad news for Sophie, the 82-year-old pensioner that her outrider on her motorcade hit 2 weeks ago has died. Now, I know Sophie's office has reached out and offered her condolences. Whether anything's going to come of it, will the woman's family get compensation? Is there going to be into an inquiry as to how the accident happened? We don't know. The palace has been very closed-mouthed about it. We just don't know what's going to happen there. So that's something to watch and see if they just wash it away or they look into it, offer some kind of compensation to the family. We'll wait and see on that one. Prince Andrew is a continuing thorn in the side of King Charles. Charles, as we know, has cut down his allowance of $250,000 a year. I don't know how much he's cut it down, but this is money that was, that Andrew used for upkeep of Royal Lodge and this kind of thing. We know that Charles wants to oust him from Royal Lodge and put Andrew in Frogmore Cottage, which is a 5-bedroom house. I mean, for him, and even with Fergie living with him, it's big enough for the two of them. Royal Lodge is a 30-room mansion, several bedrooms, 90 acres of bespoke land allotted to the property. It's a palace. It really is. And now Andrew, while the queen was still alive, he signed an 80-year lease of the place. So that's going to see him out. Now, I don't know if after the lease it would pass on to his daughters. I'm not sure how that would work. But anyway, so he figures he's there legally. He's paid millions of dollars in upkeep of the place and renovations. So on one hand, legally, yes, it is his. On the other hand, this is a real bad look for the king to have disgraced Andrew living in one of the monarchy's largest private properties. And also, I think the plan was in future to move William and Kate and the kids into Royal Lodge, seeing as he's the heir apparent, he's the Prince of Wales. You would say more deserving of a small palace than a disgraced member of the royal family such as Andrew. So we have to continue to see what happens there. Does Charles shut off the utilities as we heard rumored may happen? Does Andrew dig his heels in and continue squatting? The king is the king. He can get him out if he really wants to get him out. But I think Charles is also concerned about his public image and, does he want to look like such a mean guy? This is half his problem. He's trying to please everybody and placate everybody that, nothing he does is effective. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with Andrew. I mean, all is not lost. He will feel very demoted moving into Royal Lodge. There's also the option of Fergie's house. Remember last year when, with her daughter's help, she bought that big townhouse mansion, really, in Mayfair for a few $1 million. I think the girls' names are on the on the deed as well, because there is a stipulation that Sarah can't sell it without the signatures, which are her daughters. So, worst comes to worse, her and Andrew could move in there. It's not like they have a lack of places to live. They're not going to be homeless. But it is going to be a downgrade no matter what happens. So we'll wait and see on that. Harry and Meghan, the press just keeps getting worse and worse on them. We've barely recovered from the fake car chase catastrophic event in New York City that, even the mayor is laughing. Even the police chief is saying this is incomprehensible. It didn't happen this way. And Meghan and Harry doubled down, basically. How dare you don't believe us? It was awful for us. They've got Gayle King saying, oh, it was awful for them. You may not have thought that it sounded too bad, but for them, oh my, such delicate little flowers. It was a terrorizing event, right? So they've doubled down on that one amid rumors that just keep growing that they're either already split up or in the process and divorce may be looming. There's talk that Harry has not one but 2 hotels set aside that he can sneak off to get some relief from living with Meghan. And who wouldn't need it? I'm surprised it took him this long. But things have got to be bad if they're in their giant mansion with 16 bathrooms and he needs to leave the property to get away from her. That sounds like it's truly toxic. Now, there's been rumors that he's talking to lawyers. There's been rumors he's been talking to Charles. There's been rumors Charles is talking to lawyers. And we don't know anything yet. I think one of the reasons that Charles has been so soft on Harry so far is perhaps he saw this coming at some point, knew that Harry was going to need a place to land, and knew that perhaps it was going to be the palace that's going to have to help him out of this mess, and that might be what's in the process now. Even after everything Harry's done, I think that Charles would still help extricate him from a bad situation, help him preserve his wealth and his inheritance and so on that he does have, broker a deal with Meghan. I'm sure if there is a split in the works, that the palace is involved there. What it means for Harry going forward is anybody's guess. What the results of something like this, will we actually find out that there really are no children? What's going to come out of all of this? There's another thought of why Charles may be so conciliatory towards Harry. And that is that Harry has threatened that he's got more to say. And I know of a rumor that's been talked about for years, but kept kind of quiet, that if this is what Harry is holding over Charles's head, it could, as some speculate, be the thing that could really bring down the monarchy and believe it or not, put Harry on the throne. Have you heard? There's a Nostradamus quatrain out there that apparently says that it's going to be the second son that takes the throne. Now, I don't believe necessarily in Nostradamus. You can jigger words around for them to mean whatever you like. However, some of them in the past have come darn close. So I just find that interesting. And if we're to believe this, how could Harry oust them all and take the throne? It sounds preposterous. Well, I have my thoughts on that, and that's going to be my next video, folks. But let's continue for the moment. Charles's reputation and popularity, even within his own family, is waning. We know Harry's got a big bugbear about him. We know that Harry is no fan of Camilla. But what about William and Kate? Well, I don't think they're huge fans of Camilla either, and I don't think they like her attitude as of late. And William and Kate, if anything, are fighting for the monarchy. Just as I've outlined in the past, does life imitate art? King Charles III, and the way that William could make a play to oust his father off the throne and take control, that's another thing that I think is in play as well. As Charles's controversies start stacking up, public opinion goes against him. If it gets to the point where the government is at adverse opinion with the king, this could happen. Now, Kate herself is in some big controversy this week, whether it's her fault or not. There's pictures of the Daily Mail in the Daily Mail of her shaking hands with a charity boss whom she's partnered with to promote some of her charities, to do some of her work. Now, she has not hired the guy. He does not work for Kate and William and their charity. He is merely one of a bunch of charities that's working alongside Catherine, the Princess of Wales, and her children's charities. But now it seems that this guy is an ex-convict. He was jailed for murder, and there's an article in the paper today of the victim's family saying, you know, it hurt them so bad to see Catherine shaking hands with this man who seems to have rehabilitated his life, and he's now running a charity. But the family is, you know, our life is never going to be the same. We've lost our family member to this man, and we see him lauded by the Princess of Wales in the press. Like it just is choking them up, and it's looking really bad for Catherine. Now, she did not hire him. He is not under her remit. It wasn't her responsibility so much, I think, to vet him. However, just as the case with that charity, the black woman that gave Susan Hussey all the hassle about where are you from and made a big stink about it. Well, when you look into her charity, things are a little shady too. And she was a person that wasn't vetted before she was invited to the palace. Now, same as this charity boss, he was obviously never vetted. His background wasn't looked into. Oh, convicted murderer. Maybe, even though the charity sounds like a good one, this is not a good look for the Princess of Wales. to be partnering with this guy. Who's vetting these people? Is the palace, as woke as I think it is, dangerously so woke that we'll give anybody a chance, that we're not going to look in? You do you. It's got to stop. Something's got to be done. They've got to be far more careful and far more diligent in their vetting of people to see who they're actually working with, who they're actually partnering with. I'm not saying this guy hasn't been rehabilitated. I'm not saying his charity may not be a good one, a reputable one, but for Catherine to, for all intents and purposes, going into business with a convicted murderer may not be the best idea. So we're going to have to see how this is dealt with. There's going to have to be a little bit of damage control from the palace over this. Are they going to dump him? We'll have to wait and see what the fallout of that is. So altogether, not a terribly positive week for the royals. A lot of problems, a lot of issues swirling around, and new ones just keep popping up. And as for that, the thoughts of Harry being able to overturn the tables on everyone, that's going to be my next video, which I'm going to be recording very, very soon, probably today, a little later today. So we'll get into that. It's rumor, it's speculation, it's over the top, but it's a possibility. So we have to look at that. Have a great day, everybody. Like, subscribe, leave me a comment, hit that notification button, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care, everybody.